Have I lost anybody? Raise your hand. You will be you. Well, just test to see how awake you are. Because this is Friday afternoon. And sometimes we have tests, you know. You gotta do. How about that? Very good. It's brand new too. How much do you think? Someone else paid for it, so you definitely don't know who did it. Okay, let's see. These lights are killing. Can I have volunteer for this class? Like before I come in, help me turn off some of this light. Oh, how nice. Thank you, Rob. I'm just waiting for someone to say, you know, thank you. Okay. If I call your name, Fly, yo, Zach, are you here? Okay, how many pages? 7 pages, very good. Horn, are you here? Okay, what's second paragraph, page 2 say?
Second paragraph, page 2, written homework assignment, 6 sets plus some.
Very good. What's the percentage discount I gave? Like a Macy's discount if you turn in your homework late?
That's
How much?
is it 10%?
10%? That's all? I think I'm more generous than that. Anybody? 50%. Right? Is there anybody who is new today? You seen me for the first, oh God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just didn't expect that. Okay. So yeah, I thought you looked new. Tell me your name.
McKenna.
Okay, would you see me after the class?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that you? Did you raise your hand? I've seen you before though.
Oh,
What's your name?
yeah. Xavier Ross.
Oh, of course, yeah. Mr. Ross, yeah. Can you be at that meeting later? Oh, you didn't get an invitation, 3:30. Yeah, talk to me after the class. Wow, yeah, if you're new, I need to talk to you anyway. Okay, so that's Xavier. Very good. Sign your name, and Nicole, where are you? Nicole, drop the class, because I have to show syllabus. Big deal sometime, yeah, okay. Let's see, I got Alicia, was that right? Oh, very good, thank you. Is that 5.5 pages?
It's 7 pages.
7, see, I just tested, see how much you know. Chris Adams, are you here? Oh, yeah, very good. You need a stapler, didn't you? You got 7 pages, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, what about your partner?
7 pages.
7 pages, yeah. Right. What's the day of final exam?
What's the day of the final exam?
Final exam, yeah. You can tell me.
I know it's gonna be in December.
It's what?
It's gonna be in December. I don't exactly know what date.
Yeah,
it is.
we all know in December. Look it up. What day?
10:45 a.m. to 1:15 p.m.
December the 9th, correct? That's the day after my birthday. I shouldn't give you that, yeah. But I'll be there. Okay, very good. Okay, anybody else owe me something? Like a syllabus?
I do.
You do?
We do.
Oh, we got 2 more. Yeah. Come in. Kayla, how about you? You got? Okay. 7 pages, right? Okay. Double sided? No, I'm kidding. I know there's 7 pages, yeah. Okay, let's see. Tyler, are you here? Mr. Henry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have syllabus?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you check, Kayla? See if that's for you? Thank you. All right, let's see who else. Nick Thompson, yeah.
Yep.
Very good. That's everybody, all right. Got off to a good start, yeah. How many of you have got the book? Let's show off. No, show off your book. Got it. Very good. We'll use it heavily. Jared, you got a book too. Looks like a used one. How much did it cost you? Nothing. I know. Very good. Did you say nothing?
I said, I don't know.
No. How
That's
come
like
y'all
my
don't know
card.
how much the price of the book? Because somebody else paid for you? Okay, somebody know the price. That's good. About 60, but not over 60. With tax, right?
Cost me $95.
Really? For a brand new one? Yeah, he choose to buy brand new one because he don't like what other people underline and highlight all the notes I told him to write down on the book.
Yeah.
Then you buy your new one. Yeah. It's more sellable though if you buy a new one. But if you take a lot of notes and make notes on your book, tell the bookstore, for my class, and you might get a value for your book. I don't know. Try it. Okay, how many of you, since you got the book, have actually read the book, like chapter 3? Raise your hand. Wow, very good. I'm giving you 1 extra credit for today. I have a lot of surprises, yeah. So, your name is Robert Gash, and +1 for today. Very good. Okay, if last person signed, could you bring it to me? What, you read the book too?
Yeah, I read the title.
Read the title, that doesn't count. I'm gonna test him, don't worry. Yeah, that's coming. So, could I have the attendance? Is everybody signed already? Okay, we have the homework assignment, the first one due coming up. No, second day, we're already talking about it, yeah. It's going to be, somebody tell me, when's the first set of homework assignment due? 24th is on what day? Wednesday, very good. The reason I'm asking all this, it sounds silly, but typically I find students who keep up day 1, day 2, you tend to do very well. Thank you. Sean. You're Sean, right?
This one.
Okay, very good. Okay, we got rushed a little bit today because you didn't hear much what I did the last class. I think we covered supply curve, didn't we? Very good. I'm just testing. I think I switched off, yeah. Okay, so. What does a demand curve shape like? Anybody? Downward sloping. Very good. From left to right. Forward. That's how we read it. What is your name? Or is it? Are you Felicia? Is that you? Which one is Felicia? Oh, that's you. Okay. About time I learned some name. Brianna.
That's
We got 2
Which
Brianna.
which one?
Which one? The one with E.
I'm Adams.
You're Brianna too? Yours is with an I, right? Yours is with an E. Is that okay if I just pronounce Brianna? Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Adam. And what number are you? Never mind, we'll get to that. Yeah, I will get started. Yeah, it's more important. Wait. Okay, so when we talk about demand curve, we know that it's upward sloping. When I do my graph, please do it with me because when you do your homework, a lot of time I think in this set coming up next Wednesday, due at the beginning of the class, you will be asked to do graph. So every time I do the graph, do it with me. Okay, because that will help. The demand curve is downward sloping, DD for demand and price on the y-axis, Q on the x-axis. So now in this textbook, you also sometimes see that we call the demand curve's marginal benefit. Okay, and I'm going to define what is marginal benefit. How many of you have taken ECN 2020, the micro? Okay, very good. So some of you are familiar with this concept, what is marginal benefit? Some of you are not. So marginal benefit, to describe it or to define it, is increase in total benefit. I'm defining it now, okay? That result from carrying 1 additional unit of the activity, or you could substitute that whole line there with extra. If you have your book, help me to turn. So because we'll use your book heavily, we also will use calculator in class, so. Not sure if you get to calculator today, but please bring a copy of it. If you find a page, tell me what page so we could all help each other. The definition for marginal benefit. Did anybody find it? It's on page, where is it? Okay, talk about buyers at reservation price, didn't define marginal benefit. Should be somewhere between page 14. Did anybody find it? Page 10? That early? Okay, let's go to page 10 and see. Oh, really? Can you point to where you see the word marginal benefit? Your name is Samuel, right? Do you go by Sam?
I go by my middle name.
Which is Thomas? Which one? It's not even on it. Would you like for me to write on it? Okay, E-N-O-C-H? Very good, Enoch. Okay, never mind, I don't think it's on,
Definitions, page 9.
I don't think it's on page 9, 10 or 90. I was more looking for somewhere about page 16. Okay, but page 16 has a definition for your, page 15 has your definition, excuse me, page 14 has your definition for buyer's reservation price. Let's talk about it first. So what is a buyer's reservation price? What is a reservation price? So there are two types of reservation price. One is buyers, one is sellers. Okay, let's talk about it for a second. If it is buyer's reservation price, you want to think in terms of the maximum price, not minimum. The largest dollar amount you're willing to pay for an additional unit generally equal to marginal benefit. So if you go to Macy and you're trying to buy a dress, tell me like what is your reservation price, ladies or guys? If you want to buy for your girlfriend, what's your reservation price for a dress? Jared, what's your price?
$60.
60? Okay, thank you. We got 60. You want to beat that price?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, buy something nice for your girlfriend. $90. How's that? Can you afford that?
Yeah.
Okay, go for 90. How about ladies? Let's hear a number from ladies. Courtney, do we have what? Did I hear a number? Brianna, did you say something I missed?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dresses for
Okay,
90.
fine. 20. We'll take 20. Okay.
It depends on what kind of dress it is.
Well, of course, yeah, you could, I'm just asking for a number, then you could define later, yeah, what kind of dress, okay.
All ripped and tear.
All right, one time I say a nightgown, and then the lady say, oh, yeah, $10. Nightgown is not the same as dress. Okay, so we'll take 20, how's that? We'll take the cheapest one, or we could take the most expensive one. Let's take 90. Okay, you walk into Macy and then you said, you tell the ladies they at Macy, you say, oh, you know, guess what? The minimum price I'm willing to pay for the dress is $90. What do you think will be the reaction? Well, see, you don't know. I'm saying this one more time. If you walk up to Macy and you're a customer, you say the minimum price I'm willing to pay is $90. What do you think the seller or whoever who is serving you, what would you think would be her reaction?
She would want to sell you a very expensive dress.
Very good, you said it right. And your name is Brianna. Okay, wait for it. And that is correct. Because if you say minimum price, you say, oh, really? Oh, come on. You know, we got a $1,000 dress, we got a $2,000 dress. I know, that's a lot of time higher than what you're willing to pay. So when you say the price that you're willing to pay, right, the maximum price, that's it. That's the ceiling. You say, that's all that I'm willing to pay is $90. So if it is $100, what would you do?
Yeah.
Don't buy it. Put it back, yes. Forget it. Don't try it. Don't touch it. You cannot afford it. Unless by the time you turn around, they've dropped the price by $20. And oh yeah, that's your day, lucky day. Okay, so don't buy it because you know you go by what is the maximum price you're willing to pay. And if you say minimum price, as Brianna had rightly put it, they could ask you to pay something higher, much higher. So as a consumer, we think in terms of maximum. Likewise, when you walk into the bookstore, you're not gonna say, by the way, the minimum price I'm willing to pay for Dr. Gunn's lousy class, textbook is like 60. So really, we got the book that costs 150, 20, got all the whatever access code and all that, secret note and link to all this tests and all that. No, right? So you go by the maximum price. Okay, next you want to talk about supply curve. Who can describe what is the supply curve looks like?
Opposite.
Supply curve is
Upward.
upward sloping, yes. Very good. And that's also your marginal cost. So when you talk about buyer's reservation price, you say maximum price. I am willing to go to buy or to purchase whatever you're buying. This is a curve that shows the quantity, all that. Given the price, how much are you willing to sell? Okay, and the definition, please, should be in your book, page 15. Like I say, I try not to read all the PowerPoint slides. I try to explain the gist, explain it. And you could refer to the book for definition, okay? That's on page 15. So given the price, how much are you willing to sell? So let's look at the graph here. So again, going back to our pizzas example, if it's $2, you're willing to sell 8 slices. I know it's 1,000, but here I'm kind of like scaling it down to the level in which you could understand, like maybe in this class context. So okay, so if it's $2, you're willing to sell 8 slices. If it is higher price, like $3, does it make sense that you want to sell more? Why?
Making more money.
Make more money, yes, more revenue. Come on, keep it coming, right? So if it is even higher, like $4, you say, yes, I want to sell more. That makes sense. So because of that, you have 3 points there, A, B, C, which a textbook does not label it, but this is how I explain it. So you have a curve or a line that is upward sloping. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now for sellers, buyers is the other way. We talked about it the other day. The law of demand. Somebody over here defined it. I forgot who it was. Was that you?
I might have been.
You're Evan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you said what is vice versa. The price of the law of demand is if the price goes up, quantity demanded comes down, and vice versa. Okay, very good. And let's explain why is supply curve upward sloping. So here's the explanation. Sellers must receive a higher price to produce additional units of a product to cover the higher opportunity cost of each additional unit. So again, this is equating it to your marginal cost in this textbook. So the higher it is, your marginal cost is actually higher if you produce more. If you think about collecting aluminum cans after a football game like Super Bowl, for example, maybe like for the first 100 or 1,000 or 20 or 2,000 you collect, they might pay you 1 cent for each aluminum can, that empty one that you collect. But then as you collect more, like at the 20,000 or 50,000, you have to look harder. You have to actually go further, in the bushes or in the parking lot for this aluminum can. So it costs you more in terms of your time. Your marginal cost goes up given the price that you're willing to give. Now, so coming back to this reservation concept. So we got a seller's reservation price as well, and in this case, you would expect it to be a minimum price. So it's like that. If you're selling the textbook, you say, okay, I still have time to drop this course. Today is Friday. So after this class, I'm going to drop this course. I'm going to sell my textbook. And maybe the bookstore say, oh yeah, for some reason they're not going to accept it. So you could put up an ad, like trying to sell a textbook. And when you sell a book, right? Now, when you tell the other potential buyer, you would use language like, the lowest price that I'm willing to let go of the book is, how much, Nathan? Give me a number.
40.
40, okay, I'll take 40. So the minimum price that I'm willing to let go of my book is $40. So if someone come along and say, I'm gonna pay you $45, would you take it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If someone come along and say, how about 30? You say no, because the lowest price I'm willing to let go is 40. Now, you're not gonna say maximum price, right? Because we have a problem. If you say the maximum price you're willing to let go is that, then we have a problem. So there is no sale going on because the other party wants $30 and you're offering it for $40. So what's gonna happen next?
Negotiation.
Negotiation, very good. In which you have to,
Split it.
okay, split it, you have to drop your price. Okay, you might do it slowly, you might say, $39. And he might say, $31.50. Say, no, 35. And then the other party might say, 32. And then you get louder, you say, 33. The other one say, $32.75. You say, so, okay, you reach a price. That price we call equilibrium price.
One stars.
Big term in economics, this is the price that you saw. What did I say, $32.75? Okay, and this is what we call equilibrium price. Now there is a market that takes place. Because market consists of both buyers and sellers. Now, a while ago, yesterday while we were talking, you were basically talking to yourself in your dormitory room. You say, oh, if the price of pizza is $4, I might invite my professor to the pizza party. You know, you're talking to yourself, right? Because you're buyers. You don't have sellers. And then a while ago, you saw the sellers graph upward moving. He's talking to himself. He say, oh, in my pizza store, you know, if it's $2, I'll sell 8 slices. If it's $4, I'll sell 16 slices. But he's dreaming, right? Because there's no customer come along. Until they both meet and agree to a price, which is this case, $32.75, then there is a market. And that's the definition for market. Market consists of buyers and sellers. If it's just buyers alone, you could sing all day. Nobody want to buy it. I mean, nobody want to sell it to you. And if it's just sellers by himself, nobody will buy from you until you actually have reached a negotiated and agreeable price. So this is your equilibrium price. This will be your. In economics, we use P star and Q star to indicate equilibrium. So this is your equilibrium quantity. So this seems like a difficult word in economics, so I'll spell it out for you, equilibrium. And star. 2 Hilton hotels. I'd like to give a star rating to how important the concept is. So equilibrium, what does it mean by itself, the word equilibrium? What do you think? Let me give you some hints. So this is called equilibrium right here. Where the supply and demand curve intersect right there. At equilibrium, you have quantity demanded exactly equal to quantity supply. Okay, going back a little bit. What is the law of supply? Okay, so same thing, seller's reservation price, you have the minimum price that you're willing to let go, as my example show. And this definition is in your book on page 16, so I'm not going to read it. Sometime if we have time, I have you read it. Okay, marginal cost is increase in total cost that result from killing one additional unit of the activity. And this textbook, your supply curve is sort of equivalent to your marginal cost. Okay, the textbook treats it that way. So come back to this equilibrium. Now before that, where's law of supply? Did I miss that one? Okay. So we talked about law of demand. It didn't have law of supply, so I'm gonna write it down for you. So what do you think? The law of supply would say, if the price goes up, what do you think? Quantity supply will go up as well. In other words, price and quantity are positively related. And again, don't forget, Evan, your vice versa. Again, in this case, vice versa, in the case of explaining this law, supply would be. Anybody? Help me? Yes, Mr. Ross?
If price goes down, quantity, supply goes down.
Very, very good. Same direction, yes. Everybody got it? Price and quantity move in the same direction. That's case of supply curve. But in the case of demand curve, it's the other way. They're inversely related, price and quantity. Price goes up. Mr. Evan, you mentioned yesterday, 2 days ago, quantity demanded comes down. More expensive, and vice versa. Okay, what is equilibrium? I was going to give you a hint here. So you see all this arrow? This is a lot of pressure going on. It all forces it to converge at this point here. And at this point, we have a smiling face. What does a smiling face mean? It means both parties are happy. They quit fighting. But they produce dollars, right? They produce and say this is $30, $32.75. You might say, okay, give it a change. $33, good enough. Okay, so you're happy there. So what's another word you could describe equilibrium other than you're happy?
Balance?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just gonna say balance or.
Balance is good, yes. What else? Is it stable? Very good. You agree. So balance, stable, happy. Everybody go home, right? Because we have reached the price. The market is, in economics, sometimes we hear this term, the market clears. Market clearing price, that's the same term as equilibrium price. So what do you think is the opposite of that? Here's your equilibrium price, where demand curve intersect with supply curve. You got Christmas colors graph there, green and red, so supply curve upward sloping, demand curve downward sloping. So if I were to ask you a question, which is a very simple one, what is the equilibrium price here? Which is $3, equilibrium quantity is 12. Remember, 12,000 slices of pizza. So be careful about this unit, because sometimes we ask you on the test, say, oh, it's not 12 slices, it's 12,000. So the units have to be right. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. So what about here? What's the equilibrium price here? 250, because that's where the two lines are intersecting. Everybody okay with that? Okay, this is equilibrium quantity at 5,000 slices. Very good. What is the opposite of, oh, this is a scary one. Skip, this is calculus. Okay, I feel a little bit better. Anybody taken calculus in this class? Oh, you have. Some of you have, okay. But we cannot teach calculus because there will be I will get rotten eggs and, rocks and all that. Was though we're not supposed to cover calculus until you get to 3010. So after you take this class, this is micro, macro. After you take micro, which is ECN 2020, it's good to go in and take ECN 3010, which is your managerial economics. Because you study the same thing, but you use a lot more calculus. So for that class, you have to take calculus as a prerequisite and pass it to see your better. Okay, let's come back to this. So what is the opposite of equilibrium? If you're my student, you probably know the answer already. Anybody remember my previous student? What's the opposite of equilibrium? You remember? The opposite of it is this equilibrium. We have two scenarios. Number one, surplus. What is surplus? Have you heard about Army surplus store?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they call it surplus? Because
Too much to.
too much. Quantity supply and quantity demand, is it greater or less than?
Greater.
If it is surplus, greater. And then you have the other one called shortage or shortages, which is quantity supplies now less than quantity demanded. So we're gonna look at two examples of your equilibrium. This equilibrium. The first case is surplus. So now notice that in this case is no longer, you got inequality now between quantity supply and quantity demanded, but whereas here you have quantity supply equals to quantity demanded for equilibrium. So this is a case of this equilibrium where you have two cases here. We're gonna look at both of them. Did you all copy this already? Because I'm gonna erase it and do the big graph. Okay, if I erase it? I'm gonna start with here. Two cases. The first case that we want to look at is surplus. The example we want to show is what we call minimum wages. Okay, which is an example for price floor. What do you think? If we use the word price floor, do you think this is minimum price or do you think this is maximum price? It has to be minimum because the floor is below you. Right? Okay, so this is minimum price. And well, yeah, minimum wages. So may I erase this now? Both? You can always copy from the person right next to you. Let's look at example of a labor market. You want to do the graph, because this is important. So LD stands for labor demand curve, LS stands for labor supply curve. This is labor market, and let's just say the market price is $6 per hour. Do you like that? Not in North Carolina. You say, boo. We don't like that. What's going on? And then they pass a law. They say, oh, this is not so good for college kids. $6 per hour. They ought to deserve better. How about if we impose a minimum wages? Oops, draw a line, and we say $7 and 25 cents? Just still the same?
Yeah.
I've done this so many years, it hasn't changed yet. Okay, very good. Now this is good. If you raise it to minimum wages, the market wages, okay, and notice that your price, your value or your vertical axis here is still value. In this case, it's not prices anymore, but what we call wages per hour. Okay, this will be a number of workers, or you could say employed. Number employed. Let's use McDonald's for example. So $6 market clears, supply equals demand in the labor market, and you got 500 people happy. This is where everybody's happy. Buyers are happy, sellers are happy, McDonald's are happy, their workers are happy. When they pass a law like that, $7.25, guess what? We got a problem. Do we have surplus or do we have shortages? You know how to answer that question yet, but we'll see, because that's a deeper question that we'll try to answer. Okay, let's see what happens. So right here is your quantity, this is demand, because of demand. So I'll drop it down, let's say 300, how's that? Okay, over here, drop it down. Let's say 700. So this is your quantity supply. So we have a situation where the quantity supply is greater than quantity demanded. Because this is 700 and this is 300. So do we have a surplus or do we have a shortage? A surplus, right? In fact, this line right here, we have a name for it. We call it surplus labor. What would be the fancy name in economics for that? Starts with U.
Unemployment.
Thank you very much, Jake. Okay, this is unemployed workers. Surplus labor, same thing. They're idling. They're sitting at home, right? Couch potato, not doing anything. So there it is, surplus labor, that's your unemployed workers. And so we have an excess of how many workers? 700 minus 300 is 400. So this is 400 workers here. And then you might question it, you say, oh boy, I mean, what's the point of having minimum wage if we have this problem? Because, look, it's causing us to have excess labor, surplus labor, or unemployment. 400 people lost a job. So we always question that. This is a form of government intervention. Very important word here. The government intervention or policy makers, every time they throw out a policy, in this case like minimum wages, there are always unintended effects. Okay, you're trying to help people. So look at this, let's analyze this a little bit. So quantity demanded here is 300 people wants a job. Well, no, actually 700 people wants a job. But 300 people got the job. This is how many McDonald's is willing to hire. 300, that's it. So how many people were displaced? 500 minus 300? 200. I'm talking about displaced because before, 500 people got job, right? So now, they're only hiring for 300 now. So the other 200 people, they lay them off. They say, oh yeah, it's higher now. They have to pay more. The cost is higher for employers, so they're letting some go. So 300 people got the job. 200 people got displaced. Goodbye, McDonald's. Go somewhere else, maybe Walmart will hire you at $10 per hour or something. I don't know, but go somewhere else. So you see, there are 300 people who got help. They're happy. They say, look, I got $7.25. How about it? But then there are also 200 people who got displaced. That a lot of time is the effects of any policy making. Unfortunately, every time you have government intervention, of course the government intention is good. They try to help people, and hopefully, there are more people who are helped than who are harmed. There's always some unintended effects of any policy, so bear that in mind. So, so this talking about pizza, which you could look at the example. I'd rather explain the minimum wages because the pizza one is straightforward, which is on page 17 in your book if you have it. Okay, next I want to talk about, before that, I can skip and go down to this. I want to ask you a question here. So let's take a look at this again. Now I want you to pay a very, very careful attention to when I say minimum price or minimum wages, let me ask you a question. Is that being imposed above the equilibrium price or below the equilibrium price? Above. Very good. You're right. Now pay attention to that. It will only work, or it will only be effective if it is above. What if it is below, like say, how about $5 per hour? What do you think happens?
Shortage.
Yeah, you got shortage, but not only that, you're not accomplishing your purpose. You're not helping anybody. It's even worse, so it's not effective because your intention is the reason that it doesn't work is because, why would you need a minimum wages anyway, right? If it is below the market price, we might as well not have the law. Just use a market going rate, So in other words, it won't be effective unless it is above. Now you see that it's the other way, so keep that in mind. Okay, next we want to talk about the opposite case, which we call rent control. I'm gonna draw a new graph here. So this is a housing market. Let's look at like a 2-bedroom apartment. So this is a housing market demand curve. Here's your supply curve. And then we say the market rate seems to be, what is that, 1,600 per month for rent. So this is rent, this is per month. Okay. So this is a case where we want to look at shortages. The second example, where you have quantity demanded greater than quantity supply. And this is a case of a price ceiling. Again, price floor is only effective if you impose it above the equilibrium price or equilibrium wages. Keep that in mind, because when you get to chapters 5 or 6, that becomes very, very important. We'll actually come back and ask you that question. So look at this. This is now the market for housing, 2-bedroom apartment to be exact. We can use a number. They have 1,600 and 2 million. Pembroke, we don't have 2 million units. Maybe 200 or maybe 2,000. Okay. So everybody's happy at the market clearing price or equilibrium price or wages. In this case, it's the rent, equilibrium rent. So everybody's happy, but the government think, well, there's some poor college kids. 1,600 is really too much for them. So they have pity or compassion on the college students. They say, well, we're gonna make it a law. And this is known as rent control. Is anybody from New York City? You heard about rent control law? Okay, very good. According to the rent control law, you will want to cap it at a certain level. And let's say in this case, they cap it at 800, according to your book, and using the same example. So you draw a line here. So this is 800 per month. That's good, because now most of you could afford the apartment, and your quantity demanded is now, according to that, 3 million. Quantity supply is 1 million. What do we have? Do we have shortages or do we have surplus? Definitely shortages, because you can see that demand is high. Quantity demanded is higher than quantity supply by 2 million. Okay, let's talk about it for a second. That's good. So you lower the price or the rent to $800 per month. And now that will push up the quantity demanded because it's cheaper now, so everybody wants it. Well, now that's 3 million, and then who's not so happy? The supplier. Who's the supplier? We have a name for them. The landlords are not happy. The landlords say, what? Before we got $1,600 per month for rent, and now we get only, how much? $800 per month, right? Okay, so very good. So if that's the case, you got some sort of shortages here. And again, you can see that there are some effects, especially on the landlord. They're not so happy because they say, I'm only collecting $800 per month. I'm only willing to supply 1 million. So there's all sorts of problems going on. Side effects being, this is some of the problem. Maintenance to decline housing quality. Or, if your commode is leaking, you call up the landlord and you say, yeah, I'll be there next week. Then show up. A month later, still didn't show up. And you say things like, look what happened. I have 1,000 applicants, If you're not happy, you can move, So, now as long as you get an apartment unit that has hopefully 4 walls and a ceiling above, at $800 per month. There might be some illegal payment. People might bribe the landlord and say, well, yeah, I'll give you $100. Put me on top of the list. I'm the next one to move in, something like that, because of the so-called shortages. People are willing to do that. Creation of co-op and all that. So that will be like the landlord might say, well, it's not worth it. I'm just going to convert it into condo, which I'll get a higher price, because condo is not the same as apartment. Discrimination. They might ask you if you have a dog, you have hi-fi set. They're not supposed to, but they could have their own closet and say, well, so all sorts of problems could happen as a result of that. So if you look at the whole problem, right, we look at it, we say, so what is the merit of having this? So remember, there are some people who got help. So this is 1 million people who got it, but then there are some who didn't get it also. So again, there's consequences on any kinds of law you have. There's always people who got help. There's always another group of people who got harmed. So if you look at it one more time, I'm going to ask you that questions again. It is only effective for price ceiling. This is a case of price ceiling. What does ceiling mean? Maximum price, yes. So let me ask you a question. Can you drop it down to $400? If it is maximum price, can you? Some of you are not understanding what's going on here. Yes, you could drop it to no problem. Because the cap is at 800, as long as you're not over 800. If you're over 800, then the government comes after you. Okay. Oh, you violate the law. But if it is 700, 500, 400, 100, take it. Just be sure there are 4 walls and a roof above it. Nothing's leaking, no substandard housing. Again, it doesn't work if you impose it above equilibrium price, like say 2,000 per month. What happens? It doesn't work. It's not effective. You might as well take the market price, which is lower, right? Which is lower at 1,500. Okay, so the same thing here. Coming back to this McDonald's question, minimum wages. So let's say if McDonald's want to pay you $10 per hour, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, because the cap is not above, the cap is the bottom. But if you pay somebody at $7 per hour, you're in trouble. They could come after you. If you want to pay above, that's fine. That's no problem at all, because the cap is at the minimum. Next, very important, I want you to be sure to know the difference between these two. Please read up, okay, over the weekend, the difference between quantity demanded and change in demand. I'll show you the graph very quickly because I want to finish this part. Okay, a while ago when we did that pizza example, we say if the price drops, quantity demanded goes up. So we're moving from one point to another point on the same line, but we're not shifting the line. So this is a case of what we call increase in quantity demanded. But if you say increase in demand, the line shifts all the way to the right. Okay, this is due to other factors other than its own price. Whereas over here, it's because the price of pizza or whatever dropped from $5 to $4, and then the quantity demanded goes up. So be sure you read this up, because on your test, this is probably one of the most important questions we ask you. Make sure you know the difference between quantity demanded and a change in demand. Read it up. Monday, I would ask you that, because I want to move on to last part of this chapter. Very good. So be sure you read up over the weekend. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Your homework is not due to, I believe, Wednesday. Yeah, not
It's on our blackboard.
So basically, like